Hi everyone. As many of you may know, I am a business psychologist, and where we spend quite a lot of our time is either working in business or running a private practice, and I do both. Now, one of the areas that I find is most frustrating for executives when they come in to see me is this balancing act between short-term goals and this long-term vision. And sometimes this is brought about by some really simple stuff. So I'm here today to give you a few top tips. Now, number one is try to see whether or not you can get some sort of clarity around how far away you truly want that vision to be. Because I think there's still some mixed opinion. Some still want to do a 5-year plan because they feel like it's a bit like a lighthouse where they can point towards. Others recognize that things are very much a movable feast and that a 2-year vision would actually be more practical. For the purposes of being able to balance a lot of flux and change on your regular day to day, I would always suggest that you actually put your vision as a shorter one, because I think then you're able to flex as a response. So really, 2 years is probably the maximum that we find ourselves working with or recommending at the moment. Now, the second thing is that I think you have to be able to balance urgency, which is often the process of making immediate decisions because something has come in, needs your response now, and often draws your attention and focus away from importance, which is, do I really need to be doing this? So the second point is, should this be me? And the third point is, should I be doing this right now? And if you should, then that is an important and urgent task that you need to be able to respond to. So it will have had a vital reason for being there, and you are probably the best person. If not, then I would say helicopter above periodically to work out whether you are, knowingly or otherwise, spending a bit too much time doing day-to-day stuff, and that loses focus on what you want to be really doing, which is often helicoptering above or paying attention to the strategy. Now, the third thing is try to empower the team to be able to give you feedback quite frequently about how much flex there is in the system and how much life is truly changing for them. And what I mean by that is, if there is a lot of drive that's changing things, that has to be built into that vision and built into the reality check of what becomes urgent and important. Bearing in mind what I've just said a couple of minutes ago, does it need to be done by you? And if it does, then it was a vital purpose. If it doesn't, could a member of the team do it? And should they be giving you feedback that suggests the wider vision actually needs to move, meaning the bigger strategy? Now, whenever I support somebody, there is something that I use as a bit of a trick or tool. If an individual, for example, a new client, is someone who seems truly exciting and you want to say yes to it, I would always ask you to try to consider something first of all. So step back and consider rather than always saying yes. And here's the reason why. I think the three other first tips that I would suggest are, it's worth you checking out with that client offline, for example, is it truly possible to get profit from that client? What I mean is, will the profits come through relatively quickly? What potential is there for repeat business or considering the repeat business and sale of further tasks, offers, products, and so forth that you do? And the third thing I would always ask you to consider is, what is the hidden cost of taking that client on? And what I mean by hidden cost is, will you actually end up paying for it in the end? Because the ongoing management for them will actually cost you more than being able to deliver to them right now. So I hope all of that has been useful. Try to factor it in. It's still a very changeable environment, and I really wish you well. We've just got to do our best. Thanks very much. Take care.